Have you ever been sitting on your computer using Discord and thought, why does Discord feel so slow? Well, that might be because the Discord app is literally just a Chrome browser running discord.com. In comes Discordo, the terminal UI version of Discord. This version of Discord runs completely on your terminal, is blazingly fast, and allows you to message your friends and servers in the exact same way as your Discord app. What's great about it is you never even have to leave your keyboard. You can use J, K, L, H to move around the entire thing. So you can look at different channels, you can type in the chat, and best of all, if you're not comfortable with the keyboard, you can just use your mouse. This isn't unique only to Discord. There's so many terminal versions of all the applications you use on a daily basis. And today in this video, I'm going to show you some of my favorite ones and the ones that I use the most. Some of these are very useful and, to be honest, are required for my system, and others are just for fun. The first one I'm going to show you today is what is the equivalent of essentially the task manager on Windows. This is btop. So in btop, I can see all the processes running on my computer. I can also search through them. So if I search for Steam, we'll see all of our Steam processes. We'll see how much memory is being taken up, how much the CPU is taken up. Additionally, you can also see the disk partitions and how much of your computer storage is used. You can see your memory, how much of your memory is in use, how much is available, and pretty much the whole thing can be navigated using your keyboard. There's also a very nice help menu that you can access with the question mark. To be honest, it's a very satisfying UI to look at, and I feel like it's easier to understand than a typical task manager. The next terminal UIs I want to show you today are bluetui and impala. So both of these programs are very simple. They accomplish exactly what they need to do without doing too much. Impala is my network manager, so here I can see my Wi-Fi that I'm connected to, along with any new networks I might want to connect to. I have the key bindings down below so that I know exactly what I want to do. bluetui works in a very similar way. It shows all my Bluetooth discoverable devices. It then also shows me all the key bindings right down here. Both of these apps are very responsive and easy to use. You'll definitely start to see a pattern throughout this video. These terminal applications typically are keyboard first, but allow you to use your mouse to interact with them as well. The next app I want to show you is called wiremix. This is essentially like my audio manager. So in here, I can see all the playback devices. I can see what's recording. I can see all the output devices and the input devices. I can also change any of them to be the default, and I can even change the volume of all of them individually. And the volume doesn't even cap out at 100, so I can go well above the maximum. All right, so the next application I want to show you is Yazi. Yazi is essentially like a file manager that just works straight through your terminal. So you can navigate your file system completely using a keyboard. I can see all the files I have saved. So if I go to downloads, it also shows me previews of most files. So I can see a preview of an image here. I can also see the thumbnail for a video that I have saved. I can also see the contents of zip files or tarballs. And if I go to open these files, it uses my default handler for any of these file types. For MP3 files, it opens in VLC. You can also delete files by clicking D. You can copy files by clicking Y, and paste files by clicking P. Overall, Yazi is extremely useful. I use it all the time when I'm managing my files. I would definitely recommend Yazi as a fun way to manage your files. All right, so I've shown you a lot of applications that I actually use on a daily basis and are honestly essential for my system, but now let's go to something fun. So the next UI I'm showing you is Lynx. Lynx is essentially a web browser that runs completely on your terminal. So this is like an alternative to Chrome. So when you first open Lynx, it looks a little bit confusing. You're not entirely sure where to go. So first thing you're gonna do is click G. G stands for go. Here you can type a URL. So if I go to duckduckgo.com, I'm now able to search for things. So if I type in NBA games, you'll see we're greeted with a bunch of results. So if I go over to the ESPN website, you'll see we'll get over to HTML only website. On here, we can see all the scores from yesterday. So we can see Toronto beat Charlotte by 1 point. RJ Barrett scored 28 points. Colin Sexton scored 22 points. We can also see Detroit played Chicago. So this is just a cool alternative way to browse the internet. And as you can see, it's very distraction free. We have no ads. We also have no JavaScript running whatsoever and no CSS. Another really cool feature of Lynx is its ability to still use Gopher. So if you've never heard of Gopher, Gopher is essentially like original competitor to HTTP. So you can see Gopher sites that were made back in the 90s and are still up today. If we go back to Go, we type in Gopher gopher.floodgap.com. We can see we're greeted here by Floodgap's Gopher server. On here, we can go down to Veronica 2. Veronica 2 is essentially their version of Google. On here, we can look up, let's look up forum. So here we're greeted by some forums that are still up and running to this very day. We'll write a bunch of blogs and it's still active to this day, which is really cool to see. The next tool I want to show you is ncdu. ncdu is a great tool that allows you to see how much of your storage you're using. It quickly scans your computer, and you'll see here that my .local directory has 77 gigs. So this is the overwhelming majority of my computer's storage used. So if I browse into local, I go into share, I see that Steam is using 74 gigs. So this is a very good, easy way to figure out what's taking up so much space on your computer because it's not always super clear. For example, if I head back over to my home, you'll see that cache is taking up almost 20 gigs of storage. And if you do any sort of development work, I feel like you probably use Git. And the best Git TUI I've ever used is lazygit. On lazygit, you can see what files have yet to be staged. You can add files to be staged by clicking space. You can also remove any unneeded files by discarding them. You can also pull from upstream and push to upstream. The overwhelming majority of Git functionality is built right into this TUI, and honestly, I use it for every single project I work on. And to be honest, I feel like no list of TUIs is complete without including neovim. I use neovim for every single project I work on. I use it to edit all sorts of text files every single day. It's by far my favorite text editor, and I've completely replaced VS Code with neovim. What's so great about neovim is you use Vim motions. This means your hands are always on the keyboard. You almost never have to use a mouse, but you totally can if you want to. It's also extremely extensible, meaning you can make any sort of plugins for neovim, and there's a very rich ecosystem of plugins already built in. I'm probably going to make a whole video on neovim one day, but I just wanted to bring it up because like I said, I feel like no list of TUIs is complete without including neovim. I also do want to be clear, I don't necessarily use a TUI for everything. For example, I use Chrome and I use Spotify. However, I do love a good TUI. To be honest, whenever there's a great TUI alternative to a GUI, I typically switch to it pretty quickly. This is also not a comprehensive list. There's a lot of TUIs that I use that I didn't include in this video, but I just try to include some of my favorites. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you have a great day.